This is me finishing last season with 0 medals in Ultimate Champion. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. How the hell is it possible for someone to drop this low? You literally start with thousands of medals. Well, today I'm here to tell you this exact story. So it all began 2 days before the season ended. I had been grinding non-stop and I barely managed to reach the highest league in Clash Royale, Ultimate Champion, despite my King Tower being underleveled and only having one evolution, which was really bad considering my opponents were full level 15 and had two evolutions. And if you want to see how that journey went, feel free to watch this video on my channel. But I had a realization that I probably would not be able to reach Ultimate Champion again, because first of all, my junior year of high school was starting and I wouldn't be able to play Clash Royale as much. Additionally, Supercell kept making ranked mode harder to access by raising the requirements each season, removing ranked access for players below champion and locking it behind 15,000 trophies, which is arguably just as difficult as reaching Ultimate Champion itself. This meant that over time, only stronger and stronger players would be able to enter ranked, and weaker players would be pushed out, resulting in it being harder to climb up the ranks as the average player would be much stronger as each season went on. I knew that this could be my last season as an Ultimate Champion, and whatever amount of medals I could finish with could be embedded on my profile forever. I had a choice to make. I could either try to lock in and push for as many medals as I possibly could to proudly show on my profile for everyone to see my true power, or I could tilt to 0 medals because it would look incredibly goofy on my profile forever. I'm guessing you can guess which one I chose. But the choice wasn't easy. I decided to decide by playing one game in Ultimate Champion for the first time ever. I decided that if I won, I would push for as many medals as I could, and if I lost, I would drop my count to 0 for fun, because that way I'll benefit for either result. If I win more, I get more medals. If I lose, it was totally because I wanted to drop to 0 medals on purpose, and it totally wasn't a skill issue. So the first game I would ever play at the Ultimate Champion level would forever decide my fate in Clash Royale. Why was he BMing, man? Like, you have a complete hard counter, buddy. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Alright. Well, I guess we'll be tilting to 0 trophies. And I lost. It was a pretty shit matchup, okay? So when I first started my journey to 0 medals, I didn't even think it would be possible to hit 0 medals exactly. I mean, you have to lose like 50 games to get there. Losing 50 games isn't hard by itself, but you have to consider that I would have to find other people who lost that much. And it's pretty hard to unironically lose like 50 games unless you're having a pretty bad day. So I was worried that matchmaking would take a really long time if I could even queue in. Not to mention that there could be people with the same idea as me also throwing you get 0 medals. At first, I thought this would be fine because my King Tower was level 14, and literally everyone else in Ultimate Champion was level 15. So I would lose on tiebreakers, as tiebreakers give the win to the player with more HP on their tower. But then I realized that there were tower troops, and my lowest health tower troop was only level 11. So I just had to pray that if I fought someone also throwing, they just upgraded all their tower troops and I could just lose on tiebreakers. But I set aside my doubts and just decided to get started. I started at 1600 medals, and losing from here wasn't really a problem. Since this was an Ultimate Champion, the highest and most competitive area in all of Clash Royale, players were doing anything for wins, like for example, swiping their credit cards to get the newest broken evolutions to bully level 14s with. Sorry, I was trauma dumping there, but you get the point. Losing at this range was not an issue at all. Players were ecstatic that they were getting a free win, spamming me heart emojis, thanks, and ha-ha's. I felt like a national hero with how they were treating me. But anyways, it was really easy to lose until around the 1000 medal mark. Matchmaking was starting to get a bit longer, and I noticed the players were getting worse as I dropped. Like, they were dropping random stuff at the bridge first play, bro. But around 800 medals, I ran into my first foe. He went by the name of bro, I'm not saying that. But our minor loving friend began the game with a tornado on my King Tower, indicating that he was giving up. But it was clear to me that he purposefully wanted to lose the game just like me. But I had anticipated this exact moment and I came prepared. My level, sorry, bro, why am I like messing up? Okay, anyways. My level 11 dagger dodges only had 2,700 health, while his bulky level 15 princess tower had 4,400. God damn, I wish my towers had that much health. But it became clear that, with neither of us willing to launch an attack, I would ultimately be the one defeated, as tiebreakers would destroy my tower before his. Knowing this, he accepted defeat by winning the game. Wait, what? I thought I had the last laugh, but this wouldn't be the last time I would cross paths with our minor loving friend. Then I took a short break, and decided to watch some Hunter CR because he was live streaming, and I decided to ask him what he thought of my push.
Let's talk about 700 Ultimate Champion medals. Am I cooked? Wait, you're at 700 Ultimate Champion medals? I had a bad day. I think you had a few bad days. How do you even get to 700 medals, bro?
Please don't copyright strike me, Hunter. But anyways, surprisingly, I didn't fight a single person throwing any games. I was shocked at the fact that there were people genuinely at 500 medals. Like, I'm not surprised because they are bad. What surprises me is that you have to win. You have to have over a 50% win rate to get to Ultimate Champion, or else you can't climb up. And you start with like 1600 medals, and then you should be fighting people at your skill level, not people better than you. So how do you lose 1,000 medals? Okay, maybe they just had like bad tilts or something, but that's besides the point. Maybe they were throwing and just realized they couldn't lose, so they because my tower was lower health, so they just ended the game faster. But eventually, I ran into our good miner loving friend once again, this time lower at around 400 medals. Unfortunately for me, our boy did us dirty as he switched to a level 10 chef, which had less health than our Duchess, and I was ultimately forced to win the game. The deck I was using was complete shit, by the way, so it took me forever to end the game. But what actually surprised me was how easy it was to lose. Like, I thought everyone under 500 would just be trying to lose, but I guess not. I had suspicions that people were throwing on purpose, but couldn't lose to me since they didn't switch off their level 15 tower, so they realized they couldn't lose. But I'm not sure. Literally nobody was throwing though, except the guy who loved miners, as I got matched up with him again. Okay, editor's note. So I lost the footage of the third game I played with I Love Miners, but basically we matched against each other again at 100 medals because we were both losing medals really quickly and there wasn't that many other people down here. So yeah, and he still had his level 10 royal chef equipped, so I lost the same way I lost the second game, except it was actually winning, but it was basically losing because I wanted to lose and I couldn't lose. Okay, wait. Okay, whatever. Back to the video. Like, I literally considered spending $6 to unlock the Royal Chef just so I could get my revenge if we did match each other again. But other than that, it was literally so easy. Here's the process I did. I queued into a game. Matchmaking could take like over 2 minutes though, because at this point there was barely anyone down here. Then I would chuck spells at the King Tower to let our opponent know we are throwing. Then we lose the medals and continue. Anyways, this is the last game I played. I was at 15 medals, so I needed to lose one more to get to 0 medals. And as you can see, matchmaking took like around a minute, I guess. All right, so we finally queue into our last game. We're at 15 medals, and our opponent is unironically 0 medals. And I throw the game immediately by chucking spells at his King Tower. And I don't know about everyone else, but I checked this guy's battle log specifically, and he was unironically at 0 medals. Like, he was winning and losing. Like, bro was fighting here for any medals he could get, bro. But yeah, and this was pretty easy, I guess. Like, this is how like every single game went. That's why I didn't show any others because they're all the same, I guess. But yeah, this is me losing. I was pretty excited, I guess, about hitting 0 medals. As you can see here, I lose all 15 of my medals, and you can't go negative. Unfortunately, it would have been funny to low key get like negative 5 billion medals, but yeah. Okay. When did I press OK? Nice. Here's also me trolling my clan in case you want to see that. To tilt all the way to 0 medals, it surprisingly only took 1.5 hours, and that's where our story ends today. Except it wasn't over. Surprisingly, tilting to 0 medals came with a few bugs. For example, in the clan member list, if you are an ultimate champion, it will show that and put you at the top and display your medal count. I was at the top and it did show my ultimate champion, but it didn't show my 0 medals. It showed my 10,000 trophies. The game probably thought this guy had no medals, so he's not an ultimate champion, so we show his trophies then, or something. But it gets worse. You see, on your profile, it displays your best season finish. That's what I was trying to get. Ultimate champion and 0 medals, and proudly display it there forever because it looks so goofy, but it wasn't showing. It was showing a royal champion finish, not my ultimate champion one, even though ultimate champion is better. Maybe the game was like, this guy has no ultimate champion medal, so he's not an ultimate champion, so it's not his best. I don't know. But I spent so long on this, but you're telling me it's just gonna disappear next season and not save. Bro, I spent probably like 20 hours on getting that, man. Come on, Supercell. Please fix this. That's where our story ends today. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this one. Okay, bye.